Hi, in this video we are going to talk about the concrete implementation of the subset sum problem. So let's get started. I have some methods. First of all, in the constructor we are going to initialize, and of course we are going to get some parameters, the numbers. The numbers are the S set we have been discussing in the theoretical section. We have this 5, 2, 3, and 1. So these are the numbers. It is a one-dimensional array. And of course we have the sum. It is the 9. And of course we want to find the answer, want to solve the problem that whether is it possible to construct this number out of these integers. And this is the subset sum problem as we have discussed. So first of all, we are going to create a dynamic programming table as usual, a two-dimensional array. It's going to store Boolean variables, true or false. Going to store numbers.length plus 1, it is the row index, and this is the column index. Plus 1 because as you may recall, we have a 0 column and a 0 row. And in the solve problem, we are going to initialize. By the way, I could comment it out just to make it sure that we have to initialize false. It is the if sum is not 0 and subset is 0, it means that no feasible solution, so that's why we set it to false. But when we create it, it is going to be initialized false by default, so this for loop is not so efficient because we do nothing. But just to make sure that it's clear that here the row index stay the same and we iterate through the columns, so it is the first row and we set it to false. And because it is initialized false by default, we don't need to write it, implement it. Then we have to set the first column to true as we have discussed. And then we just iterate through the rows and the columns. So we just iterate through the whole table. And as we have discussed, if the column index is less than the numbers, than the given row index, which is the numbers at the row index minus 1, then we just have to copy the value from the cell above. And that's what's happening here. The DP table row index, column index, we decrement the row index by 1, which means that we go up. We just copy the value as we have discussed. And else, we have to check whether the DP table row index minus 1, column index, what does it mean? It means that it is true. So it means that if the cell above is true, we are going to set the given cell true. That's what we have been discussing, that we just copy that value, but we know that if it's true, then we set it to true. And anyways, we are going to take as many steps to the left as the row index, and the row index is just the numbers, and row index minus 1 because we have a 0 column and a 0 row, so we have to put it minus 1. So it is basically the same as we have discussing in the previous section. And how are we able to track? Of course, if the solution means that the last cell is true. If it's true, it means that there is a solution. If it's a false, it means that no feasible solution for the problem. Of course, I have the show sums. We start at the last cell, and while the column index is 0 or the row index is 0, that's the situation when we have to terminate the algorithm as we have discussed. So we iterate until we bump into the first row or the first column whatsoever. And if the DP table is equal, which means this row means that the given cell we are standing and the cell above is equal, so it is true true or false false, which means that we just row index equal to row index minus 1, we just go up. It means that the given row and the given number is not in the solution. And else we take the item and going to take as many steps to left as the row index or numbers and the given row index. And of course we are going to decrement the row index, which means that we go up, we go to the previous row. So this is exactly the same as we have discussed in the theoretical section. And of course in the app we just run it and specify the numbers and the sums. And if I run it, sorry, I'm not going to print out, okay, let's print out the dynamic programming table. So this is the dynamic programming table. Sorry, this is. As you can see, the first row is false, 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 and the first column is true, 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 as we have discussed. And because the last one is true, it means that there is a solution. And we have to take item 1, 3, and 5. Is it a good solution? Of course, because if we sum them up, 1 plus 3 plus 5 is going to yield 9. And that's the sum we are looking for in the app. Yeah, we are looking for 9. So this is how we implement it. Thanks for watching.